Why am I talking like that?
Let's meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia and welcome to my channel, Shakespeare and Such. Today I am coming at you with a book unboxing slash haul. Most of the things I'll be showing you today are from a big ol' order from Book Outlet that I received recently, and there are a few as well that I got from Barnes & Noble and also a library book sale, so let's just jump right in. The first two items are ones that I got at Barnes & Noble. I went to pick up The School for Good and Evil by Simone St James. I believe that's how you say his name. This I just recently listened to as an audiobook and absolutely loved. Gave it 5 stars. So cute. I definitely need to get to the second and eventually third as well. I believe there's a 4th one coming out too. I'm not even at that point and I'm really excited for it. So, yay! I don't even typically read middle grade or like high fantasy type books, but I really enjoyed this one. The other book that I picked up from Barnes & Noble is Homegoing by Jesse, I believe it's pronounced. This is finally out in paperback, and so it's cheaper, and so I got it. I like this cover about as much as I like the hardback cover, so I'm not displeased. I think it looks nice. Then we have the 2 books I picked up at my library book sale. My local public library has a once monthly book sale, and so they have books that have been donated, old books they're getting rid of, just various things, also DVDs and CDs, lots of stuff. And I picked up 2 items. The first is The Comedy of Errors by William Shakespeare. This is the Folger Library Edition, which I get all of my Shakespeare in. I like to get all of my Shakespeare in these Folger editions because they have wonderful, oh, that was a bad example, wonderful footnotes on every page. And then they're really great just kind of for annotating because I don't really care as much about these copies, let's say. And then I also collect my favorites in the Pelican Shakespeare editions. You'll see it in my bookcase tour. It's coming. Yet again, I forget to talk about synopses of stories. The Comedy of Errors is about 2 sets of twins who cross paths accidentally and unknowingly, and so there are mistaken identities, and it's hilarious. I was actually in this play in 8th grade, so it's going to be a throwback for me. And then I also picked up from the library True Grit by Charles Portis. I have not read this. I have seen the movie. Maddie Ross is truly like a 14-year-old who is somehow life goals. Like, she's crazy cool. So, yeah, I like this. It's so short, so I'm excited to read it. And I don't always go for Westerns, but, I mean, when they're centered around a female character, sign me up. And then we have this big old box from Book Outlet. Look at that. I did cut it open, but I haven't gotten everything out, so let's get to that. Okay, right on top, this is an oddball for me. I got You by Caroline Kepnes. This is a thriller novel about a man who is stalking this girl he is interested in, but he's like very charming, and I think somehow manages to become her boyfriend with her not knowing he was ever her stalker. Also, it's written in 2nd person, so it's like, you walk into the bookshop, I see you doing this, like, I don't know. Ooh, it might scare me. I was interested in the audiobook because I believe it's narrated by Santino Fontana, which if you don't know him, just Google him and then you'll probably know him. Because I love his voice, but then I was terrified that I would not like his voice because I would associate it with this. So Book Outlet was the way to go, I think. Next in my box from Book Outlet was Silence for the Dead by Simone St James. I read one of Simone St James's other novels called, looking at my bookcase, it was called Lost Among the Living, and I read it last year and absolutely loved it. So I am very excited that I was able to find another one of her novels for 98 cents. I got a book for 98 cents. That's cheaper than what I paid at the library book sale. I don't know exactly the plot. I know that it is early 20th century, it's in London, and there are definitely ghosts involved. So, historical fiction and ghosts. The next book I have in here is a YA novel, and it is Every Hidden Thing by Kenneth Opal, not quite sure. I don't know much about this other than it's been kind of described as a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but they're archaeologists, I think. That sounds amazing. Next up, I have a book that sounds so cool to me. This is Marie Curie and Her Daughters by Shelley Emling. And this is actually nonfiction, and it is like a selective biography about Marie Curie and her daughters. If you do not know, Marie Curie was an incredible scientist. She, alongside her husband, really pioneered the field of studies on radioactivity. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. I believe she was the only woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes, I believe. And she was just incredible. I did a project on her in 5th grade and was obsessed ever since. And she's Polish like me, and she's just a rad historical figure. Like, she's super cool. So I'm really interested to learn more about her relationship with her family, and I believe also that her daughters pursued science as well. So very interested in this. And it's another pretty short one, so very cool. Next up is actually a graphic novel or / comic bind-up. Still don't know the distinction. This is The Kitchen by Ollie Masters, Ming Doyle, and Jordi Belair. Those are 3 very fun names. This, I actually don't know much about the story, but it is about 3, well, let's just, in the 1970s, Hell's Kitchen, 3 gangsters' wives took over the Irish mob. This is their story. Need I say more? Here is the most, I would say, unique book I got in this whole haul that I'm like weirdly excited about, even though I don't really know why I got it. This is What People Wore When by consultant editor Melissa Levinton. This is a obviously nonfiction book just about fashion throughout history. So, I mean, you can kind of see all these like sections on the side. So, I mean, you flip through and you've got Greek armor, all these pictures, Italy, 1450, Germany, 1500. Like, it's just all these locations, and it's organized by place and by time and by social standing, and oh my god, just cool. Sri Lanka, 19th century. Like, it's just all over the place. Russia, don't get me started. It just seemed really cool, and I couldn't resist. Like, look, they break down all these pants. I'm just excited about it. Headwear and hairstyles. So again, not 100% sure why I bought this book, but I love it a lot. I'm excited. And the very last book that I have is something I've actually repurchased. Lent this book to my friend in high school and never got it back. So she lives in New York now. I don't even know if she still has the book. So I bought it. It's Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. This was a pretty cool story. I remember there were a couple things that I was like meh about it, but overall I definitely really enjoyed it. It's the story about this girl who goes to France, right? I believe so. She has to travel to France with her father, and then there's this weird connection to history, like in time of Marie Antoinette, and there's just weird stuff that she's figuring. I can't explain this plot without spoilers. It's just a cool story that's like contemporary and historical fiction, and I like it. Plus, I love this cover. I've seen other versions of it, but this is the cover. It's just the best. Alright, that was my book haul / unboxing / I don't know what. Yeah, those are just the books that I've got this month. I don't plan on getting any more books in the month of June except for anything that's coming in a subscription box. I know my Once Upon a Book Club box is on the way, and I'm really excited about it. Yeah. Alright, so this was fun. In the comments, please let me know which of these books you read, what you thought about them. Are there any of these that you haven't heard of that you're interested in? I love to talk. Talk to me. Please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you're so inclined. There should be a button right next to my face. Also check out some old videos if you haven't seen those. I love that I can gesticulate because I know where things are going to be. Alright, you will be seeing more of me soon. Bye! I love Romeo and Juliet so much. I'm a cliche. I know.